Hello everyone, this is your brow expert, Jasmine Zarch. Thank you for joining me. And let me first start off by saying Happy New Year. Happy 2024. And so it's really exciting because I want to, again, thank you guys for subscribing. Some of you guys are new. Some of you guys have been very loyal and been stuck with me, been with me since the beginning. So I can't believe this, but I am at 100,000 followers. Thank you so much. And so to thank you for that, I have a special offer. That'll be towards the end, so you want to stick around for that. So this video is going to be about a little bit about 2023. I want to recap in some of the brows that I shaped and talk to you guys through some of the brows you might relate with. So what I did was with each brow, each video, I titled it up in the front to let you know that that is what I titled on my main page. So you could quickly go through and match that title and say, that is my eyebrow. I want to learn how to do that. Or I want to just recap and see if I'm doing it right. So definitely maybe screenshot it, or you could either just write it down, whatever works for you, right? So yeah, so what I'm going to do is quickly go through it. So I apologize if I don't get into more details. There's so much to cover today, but mainly to just celebrate with you guys the 2024 and the 100,000 followers. And I just want to also thank YouTube. It's a really good platform. I've been on Instagram for many years and really didn't know much about YouTube and jumped on this boat a few years back. Now I know why it's such a great platform, because all of you guys are so like loyal and great. And now I know. So without further ado, are you guys ready for the before and afters? Okay, so this person has very uneven eyebrows. Up in the front, goes straight up. The other side of the front grows down. So it's kind of more common than you might think if you don't have this eyebrow. So the front obviously is a little bit adjusted with the waxing, but the one that's naturally higher up in the front, I went a little lower in the after. And the one that swoops down, I went a little bit higher by applying some color there. So if this is your brow, you want to check this video out. It really is very helpful in how to do the front when it's so uneven. Okay, curve or straight brow. This is beautiful eyebrows, right? And we all love curve. I love curve. I just don't like it too round. And so two things are happening. The one that goes straight down up in the front, I went a little higher. The one that's too low in the ends, I went a little bit higher as well to get that little of a brow lift. So it's still curved, but a little bit lifted. Now, there's gonna be a lot of uneven eyebrows here. This is an uneven brow arch right up there because it's kind of flat on one side. And so how do I do this? By properly shaping. The one that's naturally higher, the one that I'm showing you that I'm pointing underneath, I went up just a tiny bit lower. I didn't take off too much. The one that's just kind of going too low, I went a tiny bit higher, but you don't want to adjust too much. You don't want to tweeze too much just to make it for the other side. Otherwise, the face looks a little too off. So a little adjustment goes a long way. Now, I'm titling this Common Brow Mistake because this is real common. I see this all the time. Well, I see this more often than you might think. Is that middle part area right there. It's also the easiest to fix. You're not going to get any more hair growing out there, especially if you're mature like myself. But just filling in that little pocket and that where that white outline is makes a huge difference, as you can see on the after. So try this technique out. If you haven't, check out the video if this is your eyebrow. Sparse brows to a thicker brow. I think with her, I went ahead and might have tinted, but it's a lot fuller, right? A lot darker. But the important thing is you see the hairs on this eyebrow. So check this video out, see how I did it. But it's really about going all the way around. Highlighter is always my thing. If you go around the eyebrows, it really shows it off. So the three most important brow areas, it really comes down to always the three areas, the 1, 2, and 3, 1 being up in the front because this one is a little too far in. Number 2 is that arch area. We all love that arch, right? And 3, very common, like I said earlier, it's that missing area up in the lower front. So the after is how I touch those 3 areas. Definitely check out this video if you have 1, 2, or all of those areas that you need to adjust, right? So yeah, this one's one of my favorites because it's so pretty. Okay, thin brows to fuller brows. This client actually spent that COVID 2 years in growing them out. She, as you can see in the before, much thinner, But what I did was I waxed and just kind of left below that white outline. And even the after looks pretty good. Even though it's not as dense and thick as it once was, she still has a nice outline. Makes it so much easier to fill them in because I create that outline with her own hair. So if you want to try that technique, kind of outline first and then twist. Creating a fuller brow, here's another common one, right? The common mistake. In that pocket, she may not get any more hair coming out of there, but she's got too much up in the front. So by taking some of that up in the front area out, front middle, not all the way up in the front, it kind of evens and balances the eyebrows. How to find your brow arch. It's all about arches and that missing part area. Okay, so right up in the front, the top corner, I always say the iris or the pupil. If you measure right over here, that is your arch, which is kind of in between the iris and the pupil and the pinch of the nose. So that is how you find your arch. If you need to get more details on finding your arch, definitely tune into this video. It really helps you. I really touch a lot of the videos I touch on how to find your arch. The best brow secret. It's not a secret anymore because what I did with this eyebrow is such a big difference. Her brow bone actually comes out a little bit. So if you have deep set eyes, this is the best tip for you, is that if you focus mainly at the top, she actually has more color put on the top of the eyebrows than below. And then I push the hair up with some brow gel. So it just kind of gives her a brow lift, but fuller, and it just opens up the eye. When you have a heavy set brow bone, really strong, this is the best thing you can do for yourself. So definitely check this video out because I know you'll get a lot out of this one. It was one of my favorite videos to do. So best brow tip, here's another favorite of mine, to fuller brows. Now, a lot of us have very thin eyebrows, but you have all the hair, right? Outlining that thin eyebrow. You could actually get it even twice as big by using like a brow gel or a brow freeze, something that pastes your hair up. So what I did is I put some color just around the eyebrows, nothing too crazy because you don't want it too full. You want to be realistic, right? By pushing the hair up, you get that kind of fuller look. Brow transformation. Now, if you want to see this transformation, you have to tune into that video. It's really cool because she's got, as you can see, the hairs, right? The after, you can still see the hairs. She actually has a good brow bone structure, which allowed me to create this beautiful full brow. So again, highlighter around the eyebrows with some color is everything in this eyebrow. You know what I mean if you check out the video. The hair strokes brows that last. Last because I use a brow pen all the time on my eyebrows. But right around here, I properly waxed but left some hairs behind. You can also use a brow pomade with an angle brush. But just a little bit of hair strokes underneath creates this beautiful look. You want to tune in this video if you want to create those hair strokes. If you have a pretty full set, but there's a lot of gaps in between, this is probably a good video to check out. Now, this was just fun. Darker to fuller brows that last. I say that last because I use a dip brow gel. It has a little bit of color to it. So what I did was mainly just use that with, again, highlighter around the eyebrows to really show them off. It's a little darker, but she's kind of a rock star. She likes that darker brow. The dramatic uneven eyebrow. I told you there's going to be a lot of uneven eyebrows. This one was very dramatic because you can see one side is just completely different than the other. That side at the top is very flat, but there is a little bit of arch there. I obviously focused in that area by putting some more color. Underneath that area where there's a lot of gaps in hair, I took out some of that hair, left a tiny bit, and easier for her to fill them in. She obviously isn't going to fill them in like this all the time, but just proper shaping helped her to kind of create this similar look. So check this video out. It's really cool how I did this look. So if this is kind of you, you need to check that out. Shorter brow for end for a brow lift. Now, this is a really big thing for me because I point this out a lot in my videos and on my main page. If the ends are really too low, she actually has a lot of fuzz hair growing all the way down below. So what I did is I waxed the ends a little bit and just kind of gave her a lift. Not too much. You don't want, obviously, no tail. But she actually has narrow face. So that little lift made a huge difference. So check that one out. I'm showing you guys this, creating brows using stencils. Now, stencils are a very good tool to use. Anastasia Beverly Hills has 5 different styles. Now, even though that pocket, remember that common mistake, that pocket is very important, right? Just filling that area in makes a big difference, but a stencil can help even that much more. So check this video out because it's very informative. Simple trick to a fuller brow. I say trick because, again, highlighter, but what I did with this eyebrow is that I properly waxed underneath that white outline, just underneath that. And then actually created a thicker look, made it easy to put that highlighter underneath and really showed off the eyebrows and a little bit of pencil. And Huge difference, right? Huge difference. And the main thing is you see mostly her hair. So that's also a big thing for me. You got to see some hair, otherwise it just doesn't look realistic. Stay on top for a brow lift. And if you guys haven't figured it already by now, I'm all about brow lift. And so at the top is the most important area. You guys, a lot of us tend to forget that, because if you just do that, that just makes everything. So the top area, as you can see from the after and before, big difference. So focusing at the top is what's going to make her brow perfect. So check that video out. Creating a higher, fuller brow arch. Again, the arch is there, and I call that the secret spot, because for her, I combed the hair down and placed a lot of color in that area where I've combed the hair down, because all those hairs, that the roots that grow this way, you place some color with some brow gel, kick the hair up, you get that fuller look, and it looks realistic. That's important. Which brow is your favorite? What was her favorite? Obviously, the one that's not so kind of lazy. The one that's not her favorite, what I did is the same thing as I did with the last video. I put a lot of color in that upper arch area and underneath, and then I combed up the hair with some proper waxing and some brow gel. Made a big difference. The darker to thicker brows in minutes. It's in minutes, because again, I use dip brow gel. It has a lot of color and fiber, makes the hair look thicker, darker, but it looks very realistic, and a lot of highlighter around the eyebrows. Very important. This is why I have this right now, because to drive that home to you guys. So tinted brow gel and highlighter, and it just, she had a lot of hair actually. So that's you. Check that video out. How to even uneven brows. It's all about uneven brows, right? You're never going to get too even, but as close as possible, right? So this brow, the brow bone, she's got very deep set eyes, and the brow bone comes out. So that side and the lower, I kind of lifted it up a tiny bit. That other side, that's really sad. Of course, I focus mainly at the top area again. So top where it's low, and low where it's high. You know what I mean? So, okay, sparse brows to a thick brow lift. This video I wanted to show because it went viral on Instagram. And I think I know why. Because a lot of us have sparse brows. And if you want the thicker look, I focus mainly at the lower area, that white outline, and wax that off. And again, highlighter underneath and a little bit of brow powder, which was kind of really cool how I applied it. Check this video out. I think it's very helpful if you have sparse brows. How to naturally draw in the front of the eyebrow. I think this is one of the most difficult ones to do, because so many of us, when we do the front, it just ends up getting so dark and boxy, and you just don't bother with it. So check this video out. The one side is much higher than the other. Again, uneven eyebrows, but the one that's really high, I just focus, as you can see in the after, I put a lot of color underneath just to kind of even the playing field a tiny bit. So this might be your video, so check this one out. It's always about uneven eyebrows, so all of us have it. So tweaking just a little does make a big difference. Here's another brow ends. Her face, very narrow as well, but here's the other thing. Her brow bone right here goes in. So right here, it starts receding as we age, right, ladies? So she's always gonna have a little bit of that shadow. So I lifted some of that sparse hair, and then I use a little bit of highlighter or concealer right in that pocket area, just to kind of give her a lift. So the brows look really good, right, at the after, but you can still see that indentation, but not as much. So again, you're not going to cover and take away everything, just a little bit. Filling the eyebrows that grow differently. Most of you guys probably don't have this issue, but her hair, that one side, the hair grows down at the top, and the other side grows straight across or up. So how do you deal with this? Well, you don't try to treat it differently. Just treat it like it's the same thing. So what I properly did is, after shaping, I just applied the color right on the top and below to just kind of even that out and ignore the fact that it's so different. So check that video out. Brows that are round or straight. Now, Asian eyebrows like myself, we don't need a lot of curve to our eyebrows because our faces are wider and flat. It doesn't look right. And in that pocket, when you have it really curved or round, should I say, it doesn't fit the whole face. So I wax a little bit at the top, bottom area here, and place a lot of color underneath that pocket. So it teaches her how to fill them in. She really loved this, and I think you would too if you try this out. So definitely check this video out. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so that sums up basically the before and afters, and I do have a little bit more. Definitely get on my main page and check out all the videos from last year, and it has really useful tips, I think. Okay, so let's get back to the most important thing that I want to announce today is my special offer. Of course, I mean, come on, who doesn't want something that's free, right? And some of you guys already know this, but for those of you that don't, I do a digital brow service where you submit a photograph and I digitally alter your eyebrows. And I show you guys what you can or should do, how to get a better brow for your face, right? Because there are so many things that are individual to us, that's unique to us, right? So I just kind of help you guys out. You can use some of the tips, and most of you guys have really found that to be very helpful. So that's what I want to offer to you guys. And just real quickly, I want to show you guys what I've done on a few people just to give you an idea what a digital brow can do. And so here's one where this person has pretty good eyebrows, real fair, matches her hair. She does want it a little darker. So I went ahead and placed this outline and showed her how to go about shaping her eyebrows a little bit when she does tweeze, but also to just how to fill them in. So this is just more of an outline. So this could be you, right? This is your face, and I'm just kind of digitally outlining. Now this is how darker. Now it's digital, so it was a little maybe too dark. So here's someone else that, again, the outlines can be a little bit different, and the information, I change it over time, but really good before and after, right? And so, yeah, I think hers came out really good. And I also give product suggestions on this digital brow makeover. So here are the requirements. Now, this used to be a $60. That's going to go up to $80. So it's an $80 value. And you get you get a few things. You get your outlines and product suggestions. But here's something that you need to know. And definitely screenshot this, write this down. It must be submitted by January 8th. So that's one thing. And you need a screenshot saying that you're a subscriber. So you need to be a subscriber to be considered for this. And my email's underneath, jk@jasminesarch.com. That's where you want to submit your photograph. And here are the requirements of the photograph. This is really important. This is how I'm going to pick the winners. I need a clear selfie, and it needs to be indoors. Trust me on this. I've done a million of these. So you have to be indoors in an unlit room. You can't have it bright and be right underneath a light as well. The other important thing is try to stand in front of a window where it's lit outside, because then you get that natural sunlight. So definitely do that selfie. If you have an iPhone, do this portrait mode, or have someone take that picture for you. But the portrait mode tends to be a little bit easier, but make sure it's a clear shot. It needs to be a clear shot. You can't have your eyebrows covered, obviously, but you'd be surprised. I've had a lot of selfies where it's covering your eyebrows. I need your eyebrows. And I need a front head-on shot. I can't do any side profiles. And you can wear makeup, and you can even put a little bit of makeup on your eyebrows if you want to see what, what you want me to see what it looks like. But again, so just keep in mind all the requirements. Screenshot this. If I haven't covered everything, you already have it on with you. So I'm going to pick 3 of you guys. Sorry, just 3 of you guys. And so 3 of you are going to have this beautiful eyebrow, product information, and what you can buy to get that brow, to get that perfect brow. So yeah, that's it. And again, thank you for your loyalty. Thank you, new subscribers. Thank you for some of you guys coming into the salon, because I do still shape brows at the Anastasia Beverly Hills Salon. And so make your appointment if you're in the neighborhood or if you live around there to get your best brow by me. So thank you again, and Happy New Year. I'll see you guys soon. I will see you guys right back here, actually.